Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we'll be doing a different type of video. We'll be talking about the top 10 heroes to ban. So when I started this YouTube channel, I started playing a bit more rank, and then I realized that there are a lot of people that even though they know how to play heroes, they don't know how to maximize the chances of them winning a game. And that starts from the very first portion of the rank game, which is the bans. So banning is a very important part of the thing because you get to ban out meta heroes that will actually destroy your game. And you should always focus on banning heroes that are currently overpowered in the meta or simply are very annoying to deal with or very tanky to kill. So here are some tips for banning. If you're not the first pick, then try to ban out all the meta heroes that you can within the 3 heroes that you get to choose. Always try to make sure that these meta heroes are out of the options because the enemy can actually first pick them. As you can see here, the Swan gets picked because it is currently considered meta. Likewise, if you're the first pick, you should try to keep one of these meta heroes for your own self to use and to pick. Because this meta hero cannot be chosen by the enemy because you are the first pick, so always up a meta hero at the start of the game. I understand that some people like to choose heroes that will actually counter their own main picks. For example, someone might want to play a Fanny or a Link, so they decide to ban a Kufra. But I really strongly advise against this because ultimately these heroes are not being banned because they are not meta in a reason. So basically you should find a way to go around these counter picks, such as picking last or just basically not picking these heroes at all. So this is a 2-part series. We'll be splitting the top 10 banned heroes in Legend Plus rank into 2 videos. We'll see the first 5 here and then the next 5 in the next video. So without further ado, let's get into the banned heroes. First up on the list is Phoveus. So the 3 main reasons as to why Phoveus should be a banned hero is because he is very tanky and difficult to kill, he deals tons of damage, and he counters blink heroes. So the first reason why Phoveus is considered a very difficult hero to deal with is because he's very tanky. So Phoveus' first and ultimate skill gives him shield, so when he's able to spam his ultimate and then combo it with his first skill, he is able to gain an amount of shield that will make him very difficult to kill. When you put that together with the amount of damage that he is able to deal, he is quite annoying to deal with, especially since he can chase after blink heroes, so there's really no way from running away from him. Since he is a counter to many blink heroes, he is actually a counter to a lot of assassins that exist within the game right now. Heroes like Ling, Gusion, Natalia, they are all very blink skills reliant, and it's very difficult to fight against a Phoveus when he can just chase you by just pressing one button. So the best way to counter Phoveus is to use CC skills. If you manage to CC him and control him and he's not able to use his skills, he becomes less of a threat. So it's easier to fight him when you CC him. And always remember, when you fight against a Phoveus, try not to use your blink skills and try not to use your flicker, just run because his movement speed is not very high anyway. So it's a better chance for you to actually run away from him instead of trying to use your flicker and giving him a free chance to use his ultimate on you. And that's Phoveus in the number 10 spot on the ban list. Next up on the ban hero list is Natan. So why ban Natan? Natan has quite an insane damage, and when he hits late game, his attack speed is crazy, and you can couple that with high lifesteal. Natan is a late game monster. In the early game, he is still not as effective, but once he gets his items, he is able to deal insane amount of damage, especially with his S1 because the multiplier is crazy. Secondly, once Natan hits a late game and he goes into team fights, there are so many targets for him to gain stacks on when he uses his skills. When you join the attack speed items that he builds, all the basic attacks that he does will deal so much damage, and there are so many of them because it is so fast. By the time you are able to react and use your skills or use your basic attacks, you are dead already. Lastly, as long as Natan builds a lifesteal item, his lifesteal is crazy because of the fact that he has so many basic attacks and so fast. So once he's able to spam his basic attacks, he's not scared of dying because he can just spam it and stay alive. But not in this case. So how do you counter Natan if he is picked? Basically, you just need to burst him down. Like any other marksman, he's very squishy, and if he doesn't build enough defense items, he's very easy to kill. So if you can burst him down with heroes like Hayabusa, Gushen, even Iritail or Leslie, this kind of heroes, he's quite easy to kill and quite easy to destroy. The other way to deal with him is basically to stun him and then use your skills on him, because he is still already so squishy, you don't really need to burst him when he cannot do anything to you. The main point to counter Natan is to make sure that he can't use his basic attacks on you or use his skills on you. And that's Natan for number 9 on the ban list. Ban list number 3, Mathilda. Mathilda is a very good support in the current meta. She has very good damage, provides shield and saves her teammates, and she has a very annoying stun ability using her ultimate. There's a reason why Mathilda is listed as a support and assassin. With her first skill and a couple of magic items, she can deal tons of damage and melt opponents with just her first skill. With her second skill, she is able to provide shield to her teammates and to bring them along to wherever she is, so that can be used as an escape skill or as an assassination skill by chasing after enemies. Lastly, with her ultimate, she is so much more difficult to deal with. When she uses her ultimate, she is not able to be controlled, so you can't stun her or freeze her or slow her. At the same time, she gains shield, so you can't kill her that easily. And then lastly, she deals damage and she flies around you, and then finally she flies to you and stuns you. And she doesn't just stun you, if your teammates are around you, she stuns everybody in that area. That in itself can be used to be an assassination technique where you stun someone and kill them, or when you save your teammates from being ganked by someone else. To counter Mathilda, I would say that the best way to fight her is to actually counter her when she is roaming alone and not when she is ganking with her teammates. If she's with her teammates, try to focus on killing her teammates before you attack her, because she can be quite tanky depending on what build she builds. And that is Mathilda for next on the ban list. Next, we have the big bad monster in Balmond. Balmond is in the ban list with very similar reasons to Phoveus. He is tanky as health and he recovers health as he damages. His damage increases as he spins more onto you, and he has a very annoying ultimate or when he uses execute. Balmond's passive is that he gains back health as he kills heroes, minions or creeps. So if he's around minions or creeps, there is probably a chance that you're gonna lose because he's able to gain back health as he kills them. Couple that with when he gains his Bloodlust X or use a fighter emblem on him, he's able to gain even more health because of his spell vamp. Balmond's combo is that he uses his first skill to knock against you, which slows you down. Then he uses his second skill to spin against you, and every time he spins against you, his damage will continue to increase. So if you stay within his range, the chances are is that you're gonna die, and it's very difficult to fight back against him because of his spell vamp and his increased damage. Lastly, Balmond with an execute or an ultimate skill is very annoying, and if he has both of them, then good luck to you. His ultimate deals so much damage, and sometimes you don't even know how much damage is safe enough, because sometimes you have 1.5 bars and he uses ultimate and he kills you. And it's just so strange because you're like, how the hell did he manage to kill me? And then add on the fact that he can have an execute, he uses execute, and then he just destroys you at the late game and he gains back health. How to counter Balmond is a very interesting question, because I have faced Balmonds that are very fat in the late game and they're just basically impossible to kill. I would say that you have to CC him and you have to have many burst heroes that can burst him down in one shot so that you can have a chance to kill him. So basically you have to have a lot of CC skills or a lot of burst skills in order to kill this guy, because he is tanky as hell right now. And until they nerf him, it's quite difficult to fight him. And that's number 4 on the ban list, Balmond. The last hero for today, Kaja. Kaja is currently back in the ban list because of his magic penetration nonsense. His ultimate still is quite insane and you can't escape it because he suppresses you, and his burst and zoning capabilities are quite crazy, so he's quite difficult to deal with too. So those who don't know what the magic penetration nonsense is basically that in the past, magic penetration can only drop your magic defense to 0, but right now they can drop it to -60, and basically at this point the damage that they do to you is basically like true damage, so you cannot really use any defense items to defend yourself. So with magic penetration items and magic items, Kaja's damage becomes quite crazy, so he's able to kill you very easily. Kaja's ultimate has always been his main kit. With his ultimate, he can suppress you and you cannot do anything to him, so you can't kill him and you cannot escape from him. As I said before, because of the magic penetration nonsense, his burst is quite insane. His combo of his ultimate, first skill and then second skill to pull you away, can basically kill you in one shot. Also, with a combination of his first skill, his basic attacks passive, and the existence of his ultimate, he basically zones heroes very well. He can actually keep enemies away from an area because of the fact that they don't want to be attacked by his ultimate. I actually think it's very easy to counter Kaja. Basically, you just need a burst hero because Kaja is one of the more squishy fighters. He's not as sturdy as some of the other fighters basically on this ban list, so it's quite easy to kill also. So once you manage to burst him down or to just control him, he's actually quite useless or defenseless. Lastly, if you already made him use his ultimate, then basically he only has first skill and basic attack to deal damage to you. Even though that's still quite painful, but at least it's one weapon out already and you can probably safely engage him, especially if you're a short range fighter. And that's Kaja for number 5 on the ban list. I hope you enjoyed the video and that it helps you in your banning. Please stay tuned for part 2 of the series on Monday. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.